You're watching Throttle House. I'm Thomas.
And I'm James.
And this is the brand new Mercedes-Benz AMG CLS 53. Did I miss anything?
Fullmatic.
Fullmatic?
Yep.
Let's drive it.
Mercedes, the kings of having a car in every class. Enter the CLS, a car that's always been placed awkwardly next to its E-Class brother. So do people buy them? Well, yeah. They've sold 375,000 CLSs since 2004. But with the incoming AMG GT 4-door, how does this 53 AMG stack up? And does it fill the boots of the roaring V8 CLS that came before it?
So the elephant in the room here is that this is not a hand-built AMG engine with a little plaque on it. It's an inline-6 with some cool tech that I'll explain in a minute, and it makes 429 horsepower and 384 pound-feet of torque. Purists might argue that it doesn't deserve its AMG badge, but we plan to sort that out today. Also, Mercedes says that this is a coupe. A quick Google search will leave you a bit confused on that one. But either way, James and I set out to see what this coupe is all about.
All right, this is the Mercedes-Benz AMG CLS 53. And the coolest part about this car is the engine and the drivetrain, because it has an EQ boost starter alternator thing, which is sandwiched in between the engine and the transmission. And what it does is two very important things. Number one, it allows the car to come to a stop and turn off the engine. I'm going to show you that right now, and start the engine in the least intrusive way humanly possible. So when I come to a stop at a stoplight, the engine will turn off and you literally can't feel it, and then I go to pull away and the engine starts and you literally cannot feel it. It is the weirdest thing ever, and it has made me like start-stops. And the other thing that it does is it gets you going off the line really, really aggressively for two reasons. It adds some horsepower, and it actually creates a boost through a supercharger that is not belt-driven. It's battery-driven. And when the supercharger is done, you get a turbocharger. So that means that acceleration in this car is absolutely fantastic and smooth and linear and completely devoid of lag. And it gets to 100 kilometers an hour in 4.5 seconds.
Okay, I haven't had a proper opportunity to launch this until now, so let's see what happens. Sport Plus mode, and... What? This car is... This car is way too big for that to be an acceptable level of acceleration. That's fantastic. And that's massively helped by the electric motor in this car, which gives it an extra 22 horsepower more and 183 pound-feet of torque. Okay, so it doesn't snarl like a V8 and the 63s of old, but it still has so much character. This sound is fantastic. Oh, it even pops. It even does some pop-ups.
So even though it's not a V8, and even though it's not a real AMG, it still sounds really good. But the ace in the hole for this engine is its power band.
So what I'm going to do right now is put it in Sport Plus mode, and I'm going to shift with the paddles, and I'm going to tell you why this is one of my favorite engines in a long time. I absolutely love this powertrain, because once that electric supercharger is done, the turbo comes on. The torque, the max torque is available at 1800 RPM. It doesn't feel like that. I mean, it does, because you get that supercharger punch right away and the electric motor helping it out. But with the way the turbo comes on, it feels naturally aspirated. It keeps building and building and building torque. You want to rev out the gears, and it is so unbelievably satisfying. The shifts are so fast, like they're supercar fast. Listen, more boost, more boost. It's just absolutely fantastic. And I cannot get enough of revving the engine out in this car. And because of the electric starter motor, it's weirdly efficient. It charges when I brake.
The sound of the engine in this car is good enough that all I want to do is rev it out. And it's unfair that I can't do that in traffic. And that's how I know I'm in a car that's fun. So this car has the 4MATIC Plus all-wheel drive, very similar to the E63, but it doesn't have the drift mode. But what that means is it can give all the power that it needs to the front or rear axle as needed.
Okay, so the drive modes are actually very good. And down here I have a dynamic selector, and it can put an individual Comfort, Sport, and Sport Plus. Comfort is not as soft as I would want it to be. It's kind of weird, but it's very stout in the way that it goes over the bumps. But it has air ride suspension, so you can actually raise and lower the ride height of this car if you need to go over a bump. And it keeps it incredibly flat and controlled in the corners.
What that means is, okay, I just wanted to put my foot down again, that's irrelevant. What that means is, it's really compliant over undulations and bumpy surfaces, and yet still gives a ton of feedback through the chassis. For daily driving though, even in comfort mode, there is some stiffness to this, so keep that in mind. Even like little bumps on the road, you can feel it, which is lovely and characteristic of an AMG, but it doesn't, like from the outside, I always thought the CLS was a real cruiser. This is definitely stiffer than I thought it was going to be. As far as steering is concerned, my favorite feature of this car is turning the wheel, because every time I do that, they have dynamic bolstering. I've never experienced this in a car before. I know some of the other Mercedes have it, but I've never felt it before. And if you've never felt it before, it's very unique. Basically, when you turn or you hit a pothole or the car thinks you're going to lose balance in any way, the seats bolster immediately, very quickly, to come pick you up and stop you flying around the seat. And it even has it for the passenger seat. It's fantastic.
As James and I continued to drive the CLS, we kept finding things that impressed us.
All right, in Sport mode, or Sport Plus, the steering is really good. The front end is super sharp. There's not a huge amount of feedback, but there is more than enough feedback for a car that's very GT oriented. I can't get over these bolsters hugging me, by the way, it's so cool. Okay, and the front end is incredibly accurate, and with the all-wheel drive system that it has, you are in control of this very large vehicle. It feels agile. The driving experience of this car is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. This is one of my favorite engines of the year. Well, 2019 is very new, but so far.
Inside, the quality of the interior is fantastic. The materials are super high-end. I love the Alcantara on the steering wheel and the brushed silver here. To the eye, it is car porn. There is so much tech in here, but I'm going to pull over and meet Thomas to talk about that because there's just a lot to go through. Ugh. Dude, this car is fantastic.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
That engine is so good.
So good.
Can we talk about the styling?
Of course, yeah. I like it.
Because it looks like a Mazda.
I like Mazdas. You know what, though? I'm in the minority because I didn't like the original CLS. I thought it kind of looked like a melted E-Class, and this looks much better.
It actually does. Honestly,
it still has a bit of the melt.
And this blows me away. This panel gap is so consistent. Or it's not, I don't want to call it gap.
Yeah.
It's like intended to be this wide here. It's intended to be this thin here.
But consistency is not just there, right? It says Mercedes-Benz everywhere. Look here, you got Mercedes-Benz, Mercedes-Benz.
There it is.
And here they put Mercedes.
With no Benz.
Yeah, on Mercedes. But it doesn't look good. It looks like a tramp stamp above it, but I don't know why they did that. It looks like a tattoo.
It does look like a tattoo. It's very weird. I'm sure it's some font that we don't know about from history. This looks like a pimple. It looks like
See, the back end is where this thing...
It looks like a...
Yeah.
This is not good.
It's like someone in a hospital gown turns around and you can
You're
see
like, okay.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about the back end. Yeah.
Yeah, these are real though.
Exhaust roll. There's actually some really cool stuff here.
Look at this glitter stuff though.
Yeah, so this is not just glitter. This is like a luminescent lamination procedure thing that optimizes the light. It's science. It's very cool.
Oh, so it actually has a purpose.
Yeah, everything here has a purpose.
because
Even this horrible bump, which is some North American safety standard thing. They don't have that in Europe.
We're sorry.
Yes. Yeah.
This is cool because this is a trunk handle and it is a backup camera. Didn't Doug say that this was...
Yeah, he said it was just the trunk handle and that this was the camera, but that's just the light. So I think
in the 53 anyway, this is also... Sorry. Now I can't see it.
How dare you?
Can I stop it halfway? Okay. It's close.
In there somewhere.
There is a camera. We will
There's a
show it to
camera.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it looks good. It is not a coupe. It is a sedan.
The coupe. The coupe
Coupe.
is the slant.
Sorry.
It's the slant.
It's the slant. That's
Yeah.
what makes it.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm gonna get in the back seat.
Oh no.
What?
No, it's fine. Just you might not like what you find if you do that.
Why? It should be like the E-Class, right? Yeah. All right. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Mm-hmm.
This is a problem.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of headroom in here. Like, I actually can't sit upright. That's a bit... I have so much legroom, though. I'm comfortable. The seats are really comfortable, but...
I'm in the front. I don't care.
Yeah, and, like, just looking from here, I can appreciate how good that steering wheel is.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I love the Alcantara. Hopefully it lasts.
It won't. It never does, but whatever. It looks so good, though. I don't care.
Yeah. Then this double digital display that you get from the E-Class and the S-Class,
Yes.
perfection.
It genuinely is.
Yeah.
Like, and there's not a single thing I don't like about it.
And you get to control everything with just these two thumb pads.
Yeah, I know.
So you haven't got to worry about the center console.
Well, when I got in earlier today for the first time, it's so intuitive.
Yeah.
You literally don't need to learn it.
Well, you have home on this and home on this, so it's easy.
home, and then you just kind of flick your thumb and roll it over. It's so well dialed in. It's absolutely fantastic to use.
Yeah.
And like on the main screen, you get all the information that you need, right? So you get all your information about fuel economy, and then if you flick that little thumb thing over to the right, you actually can see all of your AMG stuff, right? So there's like a timer. If you scroll up and down on that, you can see what gear you're in when you're driving, right? It's just really, really nice and really sharp. You've got boost, you've got horsepower and torque.
It's stunning. It's stunning.
And it's got like those Sarlacc pit vents on the front.
These are fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they've got little LEDs around them. So
They glow, and you can change the color.
Oh, yeah. And I got heated seats, ventilated seats.
I'm going to come to the front seat now.
Yeah, do it.
Let's do it.
It's better, right?
It is so good. These
Yeah.
seats are good, too. I'll be honest, I don't love Mercedes's this situation here. I never
But
did.
this gets you out
But
of
that
it.
gets you out of it.
This gets you
It's
completely
perfect.
out of it.
It's all
yeah.
you need is those
And you got the
buttons.
lovely AMG to remind you what you're in.
Yes, because you paid extra.
Yes.
One thing that I have found though, and from the driver's seat, is that everything's very hard. Like everything, like physically, is hard. Like when your knee for that gas pedal, like that is just kind of it's a stiff material. It's not soft, and there's not
I don't
enough
hit
room.
that though. I don't hit that.
I don't know.
naturally.
I do. My knees go out wider. I have no idea why. But like, what are you doing? Why can you move my seat?
I just think you need to relax a little bit.
why are you capable? And I can't reach mine right now. Okay.
Bye, Thomas.
Okay.
Bye.
What?
So I can control Thomas's seat from my door for some reason.
This goes down so far.
Yeah, but I think it
Yo,
goes
can you turn my
further.
massage on?
Yeah.
Yo, turn my massage on. Oh, this goes like absolutely
Oh,
flat.
from the thing. Okay.
Yeah,
sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. I can get much further.
Does this go even flatter? Why does it go so flat? Can you turn the massage on now?
Yeah, but wait, I'm gonna give you a massage.
That's
Just-
just,
I'm
can,
gonna
you,
let
can you
the-
never say those words to me
I'm gonna
again
let the
quite
car-
like that?
the
Can
car
you
is
just never,
gonna give you a
Ricky,
massage.
please, thank you. Yes, indeed.
Do you want bum squeeze?
No, but I want my lower back, please. Oh yeah. Okay. This is weird. Can you please put me back up now? Because I literally can't reach they're on the door, so I can't reach them.
I want you to feel like you're at the dentist because that's where you're most comfortable.
Literally what it feels like. Anyway, I mean, there's not much more to say about this interior. At night, we'll show you a shot of this at night. The ambient lighting is fantastic, and it sets up. Oh, moods! The moods.
There are moods.
There are moods. How does that work?
Yes. So we go to. Yeah, it gives you different moods. So we have refresh.
Refresh. So when you green lighting and a cool, refreshing breeze whisk you away to the seaside. Does it now?
Yeah. Sounds like a crazy person thing.
You little.
Oh, you like to live beside the seaside.
What is vitality? Give me vitality. A revitalizing effect provided by stimulating light and invigorating music.
So yeah, I tried this.
So play it.
The music is invigorating.
Is it invigorating? Play it now.
Yeah.
I'm getting a massage. I'm being massaged.
Oh my god.
Do you feel revitalized?
I've never felt so revitalized.
I've this massive revitalization
this is
happening in this
7
cabin right now.
coffees
This is
of revitalization.
Okay.
So I can only assume that the ambient lighting is also changing.
Yeah, so in case we weren't clear, what this actually does is when you select one of these things, it changes everything in the car to suit that mood. So it changes the style of the massage, heating or cooled seats, what the air conditioning or climate control is doing, and it plays what I can only describe as Mercedes branded music. There is actually way too much to cover for one video on this. Like, we did our best to go over some of the cool features and things that we think are cool, but honestly, if you want to see what this car is capable of, you have to sit in one and start poking around, because there's so many things.
You could hang in here for an hour.
You could easily, and there's just so much cool tech. It really is an awesome interior.
Well, don't have the Vitality theme on for an hour, because
you just don't. What are you gonna do?
You'll just be too alive.
You'll be too alive. You don't even know.
Too alive.
You're just so excited, and
You'll evolve.
Adrenaline will just be.
Jokes aside, we loved this car. And even though there isn't a bespoke hand-built engine under the hood, and the AMG GT 4-door would make a compelling argument against buying this, we were both genuinely sad to give it back. It was fun, it was sharp, it was luxurious, and we loved every minute of it. So leave a comment and tell us if you would buy the CLS. And subscribe, because we have a new video every week.